right, and here at the 12 o'clock position of Metropolis, we have our yellow Terran player from the team FXO CIS. It is the one and only BratOK. And his opponent down here at the 6 o'clock position, winner of the last 3 games in the row, giving Complexity the edge in this set so far. It is coL.Killer.
Yep, that's right. Killer looking like a killer in this match.
No kidding.
Winning 3 games in a row. He's playing really, really well. But this is BratOK's map. I mean, he picked it. He knows what he wants to do with it. And I'm curious to see what that decision will be. You know, will he decide to play for a longer game, or will he possibly go for something a little bit more aggressive? I mean, this is one of those maps where you really can't predict what Terran is going to do just by the map choice. You know, there's some maps that you can be like, all right, you pick this map, I kind of think I have an idea of what you want to do with it. But Metropolis, you can 1-1-1, you can fast expand, you can play like aggressive 2-base bio. You've got a lot of options in TVP.
On the flip side of things, for our Protoss player here, I know I kind of joked in the last game that Killer only has 2 modes, macro or cheese.
Yep. But,
again, he's played 2 Zergs and a Protoss so far. Against Terrans, we certainly have our best chance to see a strong 2-base timing, I would imagine. Now, he certainly could play Creator Prime style, go up to double forges, and just kind of sit on a few Colossi and expand at his 3rd a little bit later when he moves out. But, especially on this map, because of the relatively tight chokes around the main and how easy it is for Colossi to kind of start taking away at bunkers that are sitting around there, it is certainly a potential for us to see a very quick 2-base 6-gate Robo Colossus timing attack.
Yeah, those have kind of seen a bit of a comeback, especially in the Korean scene. I kind of feel actually like in mid-game TVP lately, it's been a matter of the Protoss trying to survive to the late game. You know, it seems like the mid-game is really when they tend to come under fire. Some Protoss, like a Squirtle, for example, have responded to this by going back to some of those bigger 2-base pushes, and some other Protoss, like a Creator Prime, for example, have just decided to sit back and play really passively. So Killer lately, in his TVP, or in his PVT rather, has kind of leaned more towards the passivity side of the matchup. He likes to kind of get up to a high base count, likes to play for that late game. But this may not be the best map for it, honestly.
This is kind of aggressive as well. He hasn't scouted his opponent at all, but decides to go Gateway and then Nexus Nexus and then Gateway right afterwards. So actually opens Nexus first on this map, and his opponent is indeed going for a little bit of tech at the beginning of the game. So we see already a tech lab up on that barracks, and there we go, a factory being proxied down at the bottom of the map.
Yeah, and I'm going to cross my fingers right now and say I hope it's a Thor Rush, but I know it's not going to be. I know it's not going to be. It's going to be really fast Banshees, most likely. It could also be drops where you just kind of meet your units right where the medevac pops out, but most of the time this is Banshees. And if it's a really fast Cloak Banshees and Killer doesn't have detection because he's macroing up, that could be the end of the game right there.
Could very well be. Like I said, I mean, this was incredibly aggressive to do on this map, or very risky. Not aggressive, it's economically aggressive, if anything else. But and it's going to be difficult for Killer to try and hold this off. And look at this. BratOK going to float that factory into the main, produce a couple of Hellions, try and kill some probes right away. His opponent has not picked up on this. And at the same time, reinforcing with some Marauders with concussive shell. So it may just be a big old Marauder Hellion all in.
Oh, I like this a lot. I mean, I haven't seen this done on this map yet before, but I really, really like the idea of putting the factory in the main. I mean, it's in a place where it would almost never be scouted, and this push could conceivably work really well. I mean, you pressure the ramp from the bottom, and Hellions come in from the top, harass the mineral line, maybe try to kill off a sentry or 2. Killer could be in for some trouble here. This is really dangerous, actually. Oh, he's even waiting for the second Hellion. Oh, man, Killer, you are going to need to micro very well to survive this.
He's got 2 more gateways coming up now. Warp Gate research is still 80 seconds away, though, 70 seconds away. So it's actually going to be 3 Hellions now, so we can hopefully start one-shotting a bunch of workers. But, you know, it's continuing to reinforce with a lot of units. This probe going to make its way out and check and see what's making its way across the map. A concussive shell is already done.
Oh, as that probe finds out to his misfortune.
Bye-bye.
He's like, oh, concussive shell is done. Great.
Oh, Killer lining up quite a few probes there. Oh, he hasn't actually taken that many worker losses yet, but of course at the same time that opens up an attack through the front. SCV's pulled off the line to start putting down some bunkers as well. At the very least, BratOK wants to kill a base, but he may just want to try and end the game right here.
Wow, and he's in a great position to kill off this Nexus. That's great, man. I mean, he doesn't even really need to kill off a lot of probes in the main. Killing this Nexus is going to be good enough, but does he have enough units to do it?
Oh, I don't know. These probes are all getting pretty low.
No.
A lot more get roasted. Now, this bunker is actually not going to finish up. So, Killer, I've got to say, is actually handling this pretty well. But he is losing so many workers. 19 have already gone down. He's sitting at less than 10 workers.
Oh, wow. He was like 1 hex away from killing a lot more probes, man.
No kidding.
Yeah, so, I mean, BratOK, you know, the multitasking could have been a little bit better, but this certainly got done what it needed to get done. He killed a lot of workers with it.
Yeah, very much so.
He still could kill more, too.
Yeah, the Hellions have to run away. These Elks are going to try and block the ramp, and they do.
Good control from Killer.
Yeah, very much so. And BratOK doing a smart thing and just trying to get as much damage done as he possibly can. This Marauder looking a little lost and confused.
It's like,
I'll just hit this for a while.
hanging. It's official.
Is it cool? I'm just going to keep shooting the Nexus.
Marauders hate being left hanging.
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
They talk about it a lot.
Oh, he doesn't kill the factory. That's good.
Yep.
Definitely want that factory to live if you want to make yourself a starport for medevacs later on.
So the game's going to go on for a little while now. I mean, a lot of economic damage was done. BratOK needs to expand behind this. And about the time that BratOK actually finishes up his next command center, Killer's going to be re-caught up on workers. So we've drawn ourselves kind of even, honestly.
Exactly, yeah. There's definitely things have gotten a little bit even. In fact, BratOK may actually be in a little bit of trouble. He's opened himself up to a pretty decent counterattack timing here, too. He could defend it, but it is the next thing he's going to need to worry about in this game. But, yeah, at the end of the day, I think the worker count is going to be pretty even if the game does continue.
BratOK does have a bunker sitting up at the high ground now. Stim is most of the way finished as well. Oh, that would be devastating if Stim gets picked off.
Yeah, if he just focuses down that tech lab, that'll be really nice, and we might even just see Killer do that. We'll have to see. No, he's actually just going to go ahead and try to focus that down. It's not going to die. He really could have chosen to go after the tech lab, but deciding to play it safe. Nothing wrong with that. You know, like you mentioned, the worker count, because of Chrono Boost, because there are 2 Nexuses up, isn't going to really be that bad for Killer. So he doesn't need to do damage right now.
And, yeah, like I said, we're basically even. I mean, we're sitting on 2 bases now. BratOK has the worker advantage. He's double producing as well and has 2 orbital commands, which will, of course, counteract the Chrono Boost to a degree because he can drop down double mules. So there we have it. And he's going to continue to try and harass, but this is actually going to get picked up on pretty quickly. Kills 1 probe, ducks out of there.
Yep. Oh, that Reaper just kind of blew up a little bit in place. And that factory is actually burning. He does have his starport started now, but he's not going to be able to build any more unless he rebuilds that factory.
Nope, he'll need to do that.
Not going to be able to do a Ghost Academy either, I believe, right?
Or no, you just need a barracks.
You can, yeah. What am I thinking? Wow, geez.
No, it's okay.
What
was that Brood War?
Did I say that out loud?
I don't know.
I don't know. That was just me like forgetting everything I know about the game. But
it's okay. It happens to the best of us.
So, what are those things? Are those lurkers right there?
No, that's not a lurker, Divot. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's like me talking about StarCraft 2 when I'm like 80 or something. But I think we had something called a lurker. No, not really. What does that say on the sign?
They teased it. What's up?
It's okay.
Incoming supply ship at Docking Bay 11. Transit shift team. That's actually more boring than I
anticipated. They may have to cancel that. There's actually a war going on.
Yes. What?
Yep.
Can't deliver supplies in the middle of the war?
Well, you can if you drop them.
Oh, he called down a mule to save the factory on creep.
Perfectly fine with that.
Cute. Killer, though, he's going to be on 6 gates here momentarily. He is getting charge up from that Twilight Council. No forges quite yet, I believe, though, so no conventional upgrades going to be established.
Can you land that factory on that island with creep? I wonder if you could land a factory and kill off the... Oh, yeah, you totally could. You totally could.
Can you? That's around the back here?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Even at the bottom. At the bottom, you probably could, too.
Think so?
I believe so. I believe the creep doesn't stretch quite far enough.
No.
That's another. That might be an efficient way to get rid of the creep so you can build on that one.
Well, he's going to come back, and immediately this factory is going to take more damage. The mule shaking its head like, I blew apart, so you could just scratch it again.
It's like, I just fixed this. Come on.
I just buffed this out. Anyway.
It's got a little hammer. It's like pounding out dents and stuff. Yep.
Well, 2 bases up for each player. Basically even workers at this stage of the game. Income's going to be relatively similar. Slight advantage for BratOK because of mules. And really, just all things kind of waiting for what's going to happen next. Bunch of Zealots about to be brought in, though, and there is a third base. This Marine stims up, though, wants to do some damage. Wants to take out the pylon. Dies magnificently.
Yep. Marines not too good in melee, apparently.
Nope, unfortunately not.
Oh, well. Well,
that could just throw a photon disc at him?
I think it's quite possible, yeah. So things still continuing to be pretty even here, and at this point we want to really kind of start to look at the tech with this BratOK, and about the tech you would expect here. His upgrades are maybe slightly behind, but it doesn't really matter because Killer's upgrades are going at about an even slower rate here. Killer really concentrating on having a big amount of gateways units out just for defensive purposes. Looks like he is going to go into Templar tech as well.
Yep, Double Forge, so he'll be able to start producing more upgrades, but of course his opponent is already going to have 1-1 finished before he even really starts his. And BratOK will be able to move into 2-2 very early on. He does have another engineering bay finished up, and then armory is going to be done in about 15 seconds. He himself is going after a third base as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this has been such a slow-paced game, too, just because of the opening. A drop here now from BratOK, trying to do some damage there. Oh, man, he should really focus down that Templar Archives, but he's not going to get it now.
No, but he gets some pretty good damage done to the workers, and he's going to engage off to the side as well. But these charge lots are very strong. The upgrades do favor BratOK at the moment. With that +1 weapons, he does make quicker work of all of these Zealots, but they still do catch up to those bio units so quickly with that charge.
Yep, absolutely. They will be forced back, though. And how many workers has BratOK been able to kill off yet?
Let's see.
27. Oh, yeah, because he did kill quite a few at the start, too. That's right, yeah.
All right. Well, the worker count, though, is 52 workers to 56 in favor of BratOK. Very good job of kiting. Was really diligent that whole time and started a lot of things as that was going on. So a good display of multitasking there from BratOK. He will be able to float over that third here right now.
Yeah, not bad. The game will continue. And we have +1 on the way for Killer. Also adding on some more gateways, it looks like, too. Again, just kind of playing for that late game. And he's in a good spot because he's already got his Robo Bay. Later on, he can just add on, or Robotics Facility, rather.
Right.
Later on, he can add on that Robo Bay, switch into some Colossus tech as he thinks about a fourth base. So we really are going to go into that just very late game TVP. And a lot of Terrans have been saying they feel really weak at this point in the game. So I feel like we're going to see BratOK maybe try one more push. It depends on, you know, if there is a fight here in the next minute or so. It looks like there might be, but if it goes well for BratOK, he's going to try to push. Otherwise, he's going to have to just kind of sit and be patient and build up.
I think that would be a mistake from Killer, though. He lost a lot of his Zealots before.
Yeah,
I actually pretty much like the position that BratOK's in right now. I mean, he's already added on Ghost. Mobius Reactor's coming up as well, so he's going to have a lot of EMPs at his disposal. And importantly, no Colossi have come out yet, which means he hasn't had to invest in his Vikings at all. So he is able to continue to buffer that medevac count, and that's pretty much it. So, here we go. Very nice job. He does stim up. He picks off 2 Templar before any damage is done. That's going to significantly limit the storms. In fact, let me see here. The other Templar, it looks like the other ones do have enough for storms, but still, once again, pretty well done there. EMPing a bunch of Zealots off to the right with those sentries as well. They don't even have enough for a Guardian Shield. Okay, well, it looks like one does go down.
So that's not going to work at all.
Wow.
Killer actually just really engaged this poorly, unfortunately. Lost a lot of Templar. Didn't do a lot of damage with Storm. Running in another Templar to die here. Yeah, and BratOK has just gotten the opportunity he was hoping to get.
Yeah, looks like a few Zealots tried to run away to the right-hand side to do some damage themselves. Unfortunately, they're going to get picked up on pretty quickly and driven away. So worker count still not bad for BratOK because he will be able to replace 3 mules at a time. So he's still fine in that regard and has a very powerful army up.
Yeah. Now, the question is, you know, will Killer be able to get enough Colossi out in time to really make this work? He lost a lot of his very expensive Templars in that attack without really doing a whole lot. He just kind of ended up donating some units there. So this is a very vulnerable time right now for Killer. BratOK, you know, they're still on about even supply, but look at the unit counting station. Yeah, you're showing that right now. 4 medevacs, 7 Marauders, 21 Marines, and 4 Ghosts, as opposed to just a bunch of Zealots, a Stalker or 2, a Sentry, and 4 Templars. So BratOK, if he wants to be aggressive here, I feel like this is a good timing to do it.
Very much so. He does have a big advantage now, especially because the robotics bay is so far off. I mean, it's still got 10 seconds before it finishes up. Now, add on top of that, you got to produce a Colossus, and then add on top of that, it's not going to become truly effective until you add on that very expensive and very long to produce range upgrade. As we can see, 140 seconds it needs for that to complete. It is being chrono boosted, as we can see from the build time there, but still going to take quite a while for that to happen.
Yep, and here we go. Kind of a small-looking army for Killer. Nice EMPs getting off some of those, but we'll see. He's going to have to micro a little bit carefully with this. There are enough charge lots to force him back, but it doesn't look like there's Storm. What is that Templar doing?
I'm not really sure.
Suicide Templar, I guess.
BratOK with a huge upgrade advantage right now as well, attacking just before 2-2 finishes up for Killer. So Killer was down 2 upgrades essentially going into that engagement. So this may actually be a free base here for BratOK.
It certainly could be. I mean, I hope he's going to stop and kill the third rather than just run right into the natural. This is a bit of a risk now. But will it pay off? I think he just might have enough stuff. Pretty decent unit splitting, but there are Zelts coming from both sides now.
Yeah.
Oh, the Colossus.
And it does go down. Range nowhere near completed. There are 2 Colossi that are coming up, but please take those out of supply because they're not on the field right now. You actually see that there's a huge advantage in terms of units on the field right now for BratOK. So he is continuing to reinforce.
GG.
There's the GG. Killer has gone down. Series is all tied up at 3 games apiece.